Behind every great doctor is often someone holding it all together behind the scenes. In this special 2-part bonus series, we're sitting down with the people who truly helped build Seth Premier Medical and Parker Medical from the ground up, our spouses. In part 1, I would like to have you meet Neera Seth, a nurse, a mother, and co-founder of Seth Premier Medical here in Tampa. We talk about taking risks, redefining roles, and how personalized care starts with the people delivering it. On this episode, we thought it was very important to actually talk to two individuals who I feel are extremely important to us, not only as our partners in life, but also as co-entrepreneurs in the world of concierge medicine. So today we have the beautiful and talented Neera Seth. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. So Neera is Dr. Seth's wife, partner in crime. She is the co-owner of Seth Premier Medical here in Tampa, Florida.
Yep, that's correct.
And I would like to know just a little bit more about you, Neera. What is your background? I understand you have a nursing background. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit more about that, your background.
So I've been a nurse for 18 years now. I did my schooling and my bachelor's in nursing back in Winnipeg in Canada. So I was trained there. Born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I became a nurse because actually kind of runs in our family. My aunt was a nurse and then my cousin was a nurse and then my other cousin was, so I just kind of went along with it. I thought I would do medicine because every East Indian parent wants their kid to be a doctor. After 1 year, I was like, nope, this isn't for me.
What?
Just because I was just not into the biochemistry really took me out. Like I could not, I was done. And I'm like, if this would have, I don't want to do this. I'd rather do nursing. And then it just became, I loved it. I loved being able to, my first few years, I was at an internal medicine, very busy unit in Canada and in med-surg inpatient. And it was great. I learned so much. I met so many different people. I built great relationships with my fellow nursing friends out of them, lifelong relationships. And so then when Rishi got into med school, nursing allowed me to travel over to the States so easily because there was a need for nurses. And then I was in New York for a year and I loved that. That was a whole nother experience, my first introduction to the American system. So it was very different. Mm-hmm. I had no idea what insurance was. So that was very, very new for me to learn. And then when we moved to North Dakota is where I really became, we were there for 14 years. And I was in interventional radiology, a procedural side of nursing. After our kids, I decided to go back to school and do my master's in nursing management and leadership. And so I became the manager of a very busy department. And
taking on a pretty extensive leadership role.
Yes. It was a huge learning curve, but it was something I felt was very interesting in the next step in my nursing career. I had stepped away from the bedside for a little bit, and I was okay with that. But then when we moved to Tampa, I kind of went back to the bedside, not necessarily as an inpatient, completely different.
Involuntarily.
But yes, involuntarily, exactly. Supporting.
Do you like more of the administrative side of medicine as opposed to bedside medicine?
I do. I love the, trying to, training, I guess not training, but having the new nurses and kind of teach them some of the old ways of, doing things and watching them grow. I loved being part of the policy, of the procedures. But I always did miss my bedside. I loved interacting with my patients, learning about them.
Relationship.
Just building that relationship. It was great. And then every so often, as a nurse, you want to be able to prove to yourself that, hey, I can still start an IV. I can still drop blood. I can still do an injection.
Can you still start an IV?
I can still start an IV.
What skills did you learn as a leader? What did you take away from that role?
I took away from there, I really learned my communication skills. I learned a different side of me that was like, I wanted everything to be done the right way. So I was really trying to pass that on to my staff and be like, these are things for the safety of patients. So I saw a completely different side of taking care of patients, of what the consequences of something is if it goes wrong or if we don't follow policy and procedure. So that brought a lot of interest to me, but also showed a different of like, I really do care for the outcome of all of our patients that are coming through our departments, and we need to work a certain way.
Anything you didn't like about being in that role?
Yeah. We're dealing with human relationships, and so
Sure.
there is a part where you have to be tough.
Yeah. You can't make everybody happy.
You can't be everyone's friend. That was a huge deal. With social media picking up, none of my staff were my friends on social media, and I had to keep a wall up a little bit to keep that professionalism separate. As soon as I left that, I was friends with everyone. Like I tried to, but I had to keep that role of being tough. Or not tough, but just so I can make good decisions.
I would say sometimes the answer is just no. And how you respond to that is how you're going to respond to that. Sometimes the answer is just no.
Right. And so, of course, you want to not have to let go of anyone, give everyone the same raise, give everyone the same, but you can't. And so I had to stay, when I'm doing evaluations and all that, like really professional and be like, and it's hard when you're friends. Yeah. There's a different expectation.
Coming to the United States and knowing the healthcare system in Canada, knowing the healthcare system here in the United States, do you feel as a nurse the American healthcare system is broken?
I would say working in both systems. Now, this is my opinion. I think from the nursing standpoint, it's how do I say it? It's similar, but I prefer the American system. I did prefer the ability to get my patients in right away in certain aspects. There was no wait time. So in that sense, like, because you are kind of paying for it, right? Sure. You're not in this big pool where everyone's waiting and which is great too. I mean, you never have to accessibility. Yes, the accessibility was great, and you did like do whatever you could to get those patients in. From the nursing standpoint in terms of the knowledge and how the relationship between the physician and the nurse was very different that I noticed in Canada versus here. In Canada, there was a lot of autonomy, which is really good. There was a lot of more responsibility on the nurses. I felt in the units that in the clinical decision making, like you really, really kind of led the way.
Got it.
And were in control and would let your physicians know, and like, this is what we need, this is what we need to do. And here it was more, you kind of talked a little bit more together and worked together. But at the same time, the negative part, it's like you were a little more told what to do. And it was like, well, this is the physician and this is the nurse's decision. Like there was a little bit of that.
Bit of that discouragement.
Yes, a little bit of it. I mean, as an experienced nurse, you're a little more comfortable with saying, no, I don't agree with you. Sure. But for the newer generation, it's a little hard. And so it was nice in Canada that you got built up like that, and felt confident in disagreeing with the physician. Yeah. And saying, I don't think that's right. This is what I'm seeing here. Yeah.
I see you having a good, strong voice, which I think is important.
So it always did with me.
So you're a mom.
I'm a mom. I love it.
How many children?
We have 2 kids.
Gotcha. How old?
My daughter's 12 and my son is 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you both and the children moved to Tampa in 2023?
Yes, 2023. Okay, you hit here July of 2020.
And the sole reason to move to Tampa was to start a practice.
To start a practice, yes. It was Rishi's huge dream to do that, and mine as well with him, to be supportive of him to do that.
We'll talk in the earlier stages, kind of talk me through that decision making on making the decision together to start a concierge medical practice. And did you know much about concierge medicine?
nothing. I knew nothing. He sent me a bunch of podcasts and research articles to read, and I was trying to understand it. I have always worked in a big organization, which is great. So all these rules and regulations and everything and formats have been made for you, but that to create that for your own clinic and make sure I was able to bring a lot of what we had already learned over the years. But it was daunting and it was very, very scary. And I questioned him a lot and was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? This is a huge risk. This is a huge risk. But as we started doing it and looking into it and figuring it out, it was fun. It was fun and exciting. I mean, it's still very anxiety.
What's concierge medicine to you from your perspective as a nurse, as a business owner? What do you explain to patients? What is concierge medicine? And more in particular, what is concierge medicine at Seth Premier Medical?
Well, the biggest thing for us is it's personalized healthcare. I think we're starting to really want to get that time to our patients.
Yes.
And not rush them through appointments. Rishi and I, a lot of our decision-making on how we were going to run this was based on experiences that our family members and friends were experiencing. And so when we saw them being rushed through appointments or having to wait for certain things or not being able to talk to their physicians and kind of being just frustrated, it's very frustrating. And so we really wanted to advocate for that and push that in our patients and say, this is what we're going to do for you. And we're going to try our best. And we might fail. We're not going to be perfect. We might, and that's life, but we'll learn and we'll do whatever we can. But we really wanted to bring it back to the patient being the primary goal of everything. And I know as much as I poke at him and make fun of him or do whatever, or don't listen to his advice sometimes just because I'm not going to listen to the
Yeah.
He's an amazing physician. And over the years of working in the same facility with him, not that we worked together in same departments.
Have you ever worked?
We never worked together, but he was internal medicine, a hospitalist. And of course, his patients came through interventional radiology in the hospital in North Dakota that we worked at.
So you'd see his name.
I'd see his name. I'd hear about him. And you'd hear from people that he took care of their loved ones, of colleagues, which he would never tell me. He's very, very strict to HIPAA. Would never know if my girlfriend's mom was in the hospital and he happened to admit them.
Yeah.
That he's an amazing physician. That's all I ever heard was he's so he listens, he's kind, he's caring. But I could see the frustration in him of being not able to do exactly what he wanted to do. And so with this practice, he's able to do that. And you see the passion. And I see him spending the time and really listening to his patients. So that for me was worth it.
Yeah. Do you, I guess let me ask you, starting the practice, we know Rishi is the physician. What is your role in the practice?
So right now I'm the nurse and I'm the practice manager. I answer the phones. I schedule the patients. So it's just him and me right now.
The two of you.
Just the two of us. I draw the blood. I start the IVs. I give the medication if I need to. I listen to what he wants. So I'm really right there. He does all the medicine and so.
Do the clinical / operation.
Yes. Yep. I do all the background, did you do this? Did you put this note in? Did we follow this rule? So there was that part of it. And then there was the building, getting the licensing, getting the equipment, getting what do we need for our patients and bringing second reel. Do you think you stand behind this or should we introduce this to all that kind of stuff? Who should come clean it? No, all those kind of things, was details. Those fun little details. That was a year in the works of us learning. And so
new city, new business, giving up your previous careers to start a new adventure. Mm-hmm. And it almost a big risk, right?
A huge risk, especially the two young kids who are busy. And we lived a very comfortable, not that we don't live a comfortable life, but it was very easy. We had it ready to go. And
how do you manage being a mom, being a wife, and now being in this new role as the operations of Seth Premier Medical? How do you balance all of that?
One of the good things about concierges is that we are able to somewhat put it around our schedule. So the kids are they're older now, and so our hours are kind of somewhat based around that. And our kids understand that we're in healthcare, and our patients do at times have to come first, even though they're with them. It's difficult, and I'm learning as I go along, but I have realized that doing this has actually given me more time with my kids, where I can go run in the middle of the day if I need to just watch a quick play or go drop something off for him, or and in the evenings, you know, you're really dedicated to them, but still be there for your patients that they need us to be. It's a lot of organization. It's a lot of lists, a lot of calendars, but we're managing and we're learning along the way.
Do you think it's difficult working with your husband in that capacity and no breaks and just...
It can be. It can be.
In a sense, he is also the co-owner, but in that sense, your business partner. So is that dynamic difficult? And has that, I'm going to ask a personal question, has that affected your personal life?
I think.
And your relationship, good or bad? Has it made you stronger? Has it made you...
I think it's made us stronger. But I think he's seen a different side of me as well, where I can, I should say the lines get blurred sometimes, and where you have to step back and be like, okay, you're the physician and I'm the nurse, and I'm not going to boss you around and check you every 5 seconds. Right. And he also has to realize that every little thing shouldn't come to me. Like, he needs to also. So I think in that sense, we've learned to communicate a little better. In the beginning, it was a lot of back and forth. We have our offices in the corners of each other, of the building. At home, there are moments.
If you need anything.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know. Shoot me a text. But overall, I think it's really, we've learned how to respect each other and our strengths, right? In the beginning, and when I worked in interview, he didn't really know what I did or what I didn't do. I didn't really see him interact with patients. I heard about it, and he heard about, oh, she's doing well or she's not. But now it's nice to be able to talk about that.
And see him in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize how good and qualified a physician he is?
Yes, 100%. 100%. But I still question him, because that's just me. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. And I still be like, well, did you write this, or did you end this? Or that's just something, I don't know if that...
And I don't think I would ever give that up, Neera, because I think as I know, working also with a spouse in that role, I know I'm a better doctor because of Jason being in the office. And I know Rishi can say the same thing, that he is a better doctor because of you. So I don't ever want you to lose the value that you bring in this. That's what I says a lot. I know I cannot do this without Jason. I know Dr. Seth could not do that without you. So do you, looking back, I mean, Dr. Seth and I have spent a lot of time talking about the challenges of starting concierge medicine and building a panel of patients that, and especially being in a new city that no one knows you. Do you, looking back, I mean, are you happy you've made this new venture in life? Do you have any regrets? Is there things that you wish you would have done differently?
I think we did it at the right time. I think we both needed a challenge. I think this has been a great move for our kids. We're going to be able to provide an even better life for them. Yeah, there's so many opportunities here. We were in love with Florida for years, and of course, I miss our friends. We made lifelong friends in North Dakota.
I just want to point out the fact that, I would have loved to have had you guys in Las Vegas. I know. Can you imagine what we could have been doing at this point?
It would have been amazing. It would have been great. We, and of course, our family was very close to us. That was just hours of quick drive and in Canada. So those things you do miss. You miss that of calling my dad and be like, oh, can you guys come for dinner? And they drive 3 hours and they come. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think we're creating something that we can meet for our kids, and something that also to show our kids to be proud. Like, they should be proud of us, to see us work together and do this, and what hard work really is all about.
Has this been challenging on the kids to see? Have you seen them, I guess, any concerns from that aspect?
We were really worried when we pulled them out of school, because they were thriving. It wasn't like anything was in North Dakota was wrong. They were doing great. They had a great network. They were doing great in their extracurricular activities. They had amazing friends. So we were worried when they came here that something was going to be, we see a shift in their school, but the community here has just really, I'm not even like made it amazing. Like they've made friends, and we've made friends, and the school's just like a huge hub for them. Like they're just they're doing well. Of course, there's going to be some emotional things, sure. And my daughter's starting to go through puberty, so that's an everyday event. But they're doing well. I think they are. They still miss their friends, and they have kept good relationship ties with them. And we encourage that. We try to encourage that as much as we can.
What do you see for the future of Seth Premier Medical? And I know it's going to happen, but what do you see, or what do you want to have happen?
I want to be able to, what I see as the future is us to fulfill a goal of filling our panel of patients for him, and then in introducing new physicians and being able to provide that care and grow if we can. Just to, really share our idea of what we think medicine should be, and for people to be able to get that from us. Growth is always great, but not too much that we lose our sight of why we started it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I love being a concierge physician. I love what I do. I know it's an opportunity for us to really form those relationships with patients that I know I value, you value. And it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen in the future with concierge medicine and the landscape of that throughout the country. Because I think the way healthcare is right now, I think it's going to be forced into this. I really do. I think physicians cannot keep up with the demands and the challenges that we encounter every day. So I think this is a nice model of healthcare that is going to continue to be fueled. But is there anything that you want to comment on that makes your business stand out? Let's say from a concierge doctor down the street.
We're so new. I think that we really get to know our patients. I think we really, really make the effort to treat you like a family member. Yeah. So I'm going to treat you, and he's going to treat you like we would treat our own family member. And that's one of the biggest things.
I really like your guys' approach to all the wellness services, certainly the hyperbaric chamber that you have, which I think is unique. I think that has a lot of healing in the wellness spectrum. I like the advanced testing that you guys do in the office. I like the other wellness services, from IV fluids, IV vitamins, certainly the stress testing, which I don't even do in my office. So I think it's nice to see all the services that you have under one roof. So, and the goal is to continue to expand, obviously.
Yeah, our goal is to continue to expand, to hire as we need. For now, it's just me and him, and it might stay that for a while. Introduce what we can and what we believe in and what we stand behind. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. We don't want to just bring everything in if we don't feel safe about it, or if we don't. But we also want our patients to feel open enough to talk to us and research it and do whatever we can to help them.
Yeah. If you had another individual, a nurse married to a doctor, who comes to you and says, my husband and I are interested in starting a concierge practice, and we want to do what you and Dr. Seth do, what would you tell him?
I would say, go for it. I would say it's great. Rishi and I, we're the best of friends, and we make each other laugh, but we keep each other honest. We're not afraid. And you can't be afraid to tell your partner, you're wrong, I don't agree with you. Or that's great, and give a compliment. I think she would probably say I don't give a lot of compliments.
Don't lose sight of that. I think we all need that.
Yeah. But also, you are a husband and wife, and you have created a family together. That is number one. So you got to keep that relationship. And when you come home, try to separate it as much as you can. I know in the beginning you can't, because it's a new business and that's all that's on your head. But you got to eventually try to still have your mom life, then have your business life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I truly appreciate your time today.
It's great.
I just, if Rishi doesn't say it enough, I want to say thank you for all what you do. Thank you for being a mom. Thank you for being a business owner and really doing your best to create what I think is an outstanding business. So keeping you.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate Jason. The relationship that we built through this we wouldn't have gotten to know you if we hadn't started this. And that's been a blessing.
It's so exciting to see what the future is going to hold for both of us.
Yes.
Or for
very excited. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching.